So welcome back to Favorite Murder Friday. We are officially halfway done with 12 Days of Murder. I think we're on day 6 right now. This case is pretty well known. In fact, our killer for this case has been compared to Jodi Arias, basically calling her Jodi Arias like 2.0 or the new Jodi Arias. And so, of course, I imagine that case obviously is pretty well infamous too. I haven't covered that case, but I'm highly considering it. So if you want me to cover that case, I guess let me know. And so with that being said, I'm gonna quit my rambling. Sources down below as always, and let's go get started. So Shayna Michelle Hubers was born on April 9th, 1981, in Kentucky as the only child. So then, of course, she graduates high school, said to have really good grades, have a high academic drive, and so then she would go on to pursue a degree in psychology at the University of Kentucky in Lexington. So then, of course, Shayna would cross paths with a guy by the name of Ryan Poston on Facebook. And apparently Ryan Carter Poston was born December 30th, 1982. Apparently he was the oldest of 4 and the only son. And his sisters' names apparently are Allison, Catherine, and Elizabeth. He would attend high school in the Philippines that his parents paid for. He would then go to Switzerland to attend school in Geneva. So to make sure he was getting these elite education, because I guess his parents want the best for their kids, which as good parents should. And then he would go to enroll in Indiana University, and this is where he triple majored, so he was going for 3 majors at the same time in political science, geography, and history. So then he would then go on to complete his law degree at Salmon B. Chase College of Law at Northern Kentucky University in Highland Heights, Kentucky. So, hobbies, apparently he was a gun collector, which apparently the gun thing that comes important to the story later, as you can imagine. His parents would eventually get divorced, and his mom remarried to a guy named Peter Carter, and apparently Peter Carter had such a big impact on Ryan's life that he legally had his middle name changed to Carter to show basically what an impact he's had in his life. So in 2009, doesn't get exactly when, but sometime in 2009, Ryan would actually start dating this woman named Lauren Woolley. This is before he met Shayna, because they met in 2012, okay? And apparently, within 3 days of them knowing each other, she already had a key to his apartment. And apparently they would get 2 dogs together. And then she apparently was attending the law school that he had just graduated from. And he was taking the bar exam, which apparently that's important if you want to become a lawyer and stuff, right? So then after he passes, he opens up his own law firm and has a partner and everything. So then they break it off. It says nothing really bad happened, and they were planning on getting back together. But of course, you can imagine that doesn't wind up happening because he winds up being Shayna. So they break it off in 2011, and I think from what it looks like she got the 2 dogs. So for anyone to ask, I don't know for sure, but it looks like she got the dogs. But if anyone knows different, definitely let me know. So apparently they met through Facebook through a mutual friend. So apparently Ryan had this step cousin named Carissa, and apparently Ryan and Shayna were friends with her. So I guess it was somebody sent. I would like to assume, somebody sent somebody a friend request first, and then they started messaging. And other sources are saying that he commented on a photo, because I guess he thought she was attractive. The 2 of them decided to meet up for Shayna's, have a date. And the date just happened to be on Shayna's 20th birthday at a bar. Apparently she had friends with her, but after Ryan shows up, all her attention is pretty much on him. And she pretty much ditches her friends. Because again, I guess they were celebrating her birthday, because why else would they be at this bar with her? Lauren, the ex-girlfriend, she would later come out and say she believed that Shayna was just a rebound because her and Ryan were in a long-term relationship, and he quickly pretty much went to Shayna, so it would make sense for Shayna to be a rebound. And at this time, Shayna apparently is trying to get her master's degree and being a school counselor. As couples do, they fight, but apparently they fought a lot often than most couples would. Apparently she would fall in love with Ryan, and he apparently would break it off with her, and of course she would beg to get back together, and they wound up becoming an on and off thing. So, in the periods where they were broken up, Shayna apparently would call the office, and she would apparently get the secretary, and the secretary would have to forward her call, to him. And this is until he told the secretary, don't forward her no more, just don't. So, of course, obviously him being the boss, the secretary, I assume, didn't do it no more. So then Shayna would either get a friend's number, get, this random new number, to call Ryan and pretend to be a potential client, because again, he's a law firm, you need clients in order to run this business. And it's actually said that at one point she actually got a number from out of state, so out of Kentucky, a non-Kentucky number, I guess, to make it seem like it wasn't her. So sometime in October of 2012, this is an election year, so they're watching the vice presidential debate that was going on that night, And apparently Ryan had invited Shayna, and Shayna thought that she was in good graces, because like, why would he invite me over to his parents? Because his mom and stepdad was there too, so I guess she thought she was in good graces, as one would. So then Ryan would probably tell his stepfather, like, I'm about to dump Shayna for good, I'm done with her, she's being crazy. And that he actually had a date with Audrey Bolt, who apparently was Miss Ohio 2012. And apparently Ryan and Audrey met all through Facebook, because apparently he had commented like a movie review on one of her posts. And they started talking like through Messenger, like privately, and then that's how they got to know each other. They had set up a date, and the original date was October 12th, 2012, and they were going to actually meet up at his condo. We're going to meet up at a bar instead of his condo at 9 p.m. that night. And of course, Shayna, like I said, she was crazy. So apparently she was keeping track of like the number of friends that Ryan had. And apparently, I guess like she was doing a process of elimination and realized it was Audrey. And so of course, seeing this beautiful woman now as Ryan's friend, she also would get jealous. She friend requested Audrey, who actually accepted this, shockingly. And apparently somehow was able to convince her to give her details of this date, even though apparently she had no idea who Shayna was. And other sources actually say that she actually had access to Ryan's messages and was able to see the messages. So apparently she was over here like deleting any female friends that she didn't approve of. So then on October 12th, Shayna is texting Ryan saying that she was in the hospital, just trying to see if he would come see her, because she's crazy. And she was actually at home, apparently searching up symptoms for high blood pressure. She was searching up random ass conditions and medication for those conditions, and saying that, oh, I have that medication, to make it seem like she had that condition. So then of course the next day, so it's October 13th, 2012, Ryan, he's supposed to get ready for his date with Audrey. Audrey apparently is already at the bar they're supposed to meet at. He's supposed to be just on the way to go get in his car and just simply go meet with her to have this date. So then Shayna, of course, she pops up before he can even leave, and apparently I guess she's like trying to get back together with him, like trying to beg, as you can imagine. Obviously he's refusing, he's like, I'm trying to go on a date with a whole other woman, like what we had was over, sorry. So then she says that he apparently threw her against the couch, and threw her against like other shit to where she should have bruises, but like she didn't. And she would try, and apparently one of his guns was apparently on the table. It was when he was cleaning it, because remember, he was a gun collector, so that would make sense. So then, of course, she winds up grabbing one of his guns and winds up shooting him 6 times, obviously killing him. She then calls her mom, I guess, like, for help, and then 911 gets called, and of course, Ryan is declared dead on the scene. And so, something very interesting, because remember, Shayna is a very intelligent person, so you think she would know to do this. She never asked for a lawyer, apparently. It was not at first, and then apparently never was read her Miranda rights. I feel like they could use that in court as like a loophole to like get a lighter sentence, if not get the whole case thrown out together, but good thing she didn't. And so apparently while being interrogated, she would say that she basically gave Ryan the nose job that he wanted by basically shooting him in the face. Because apparently one of the shots that she did was in fact in his face, and apparently she would say he was very vain, and saying that, basically trying to make the victim look bad, so trying to say like, he said I need a boo job, this, that, and the other, basically trying to make it seem like he was degrading her, that he was abusive, basically trying to make her seem like a battered girlfriend, essentially. And then apparently there was moments where she was singing Amazing Grace while she was alone in the interrogation room. Apparently she was laughing. There were points where she was saying to herself like, I did it. So yeah, she was pretty much confessing to the murder right there, pretty much showing no remorse. And then yeah, and so Shayna, of course, like I said, she's trying to pull the defense that Ryan was secretly a very angry person, and apparently around this time his former partner was suing him for whatever reason, and that Ryan had apparently had messaged a friend like there's nothing more that he wanted than like to see the earth pretty much get scorched, and nothing really directly saying he wanted to hurt the partner. And so then Shayna apparently had texted one of her friends, because apparently there's a picture of her with a gun, and apparently she's at a gun range, and apparently I guess she's with Ryan. Like, she's with Ryan at this damn gun range. And she says that she basically wants to shoot Ryan and kill him and play it off as an accident. So Shayna, obviously, she's arrested at the scene and she gets charged with murder. There are some sources saying she was denied bail, so there was no bail whatsoever. However, there are other sources saying that her bail was $5. And so Ryan's father, this is very sad. I hate that he had to do this. Apparently, he was the one who had to go clean up the crime scene. Which you think there would be, like, special people to go do that, but for some reason he had to clean it up. I don't know if he wanted to do it, or like they didn't have the money. I don't know the situation regarding that, so like don't even like, please don't ask me. But apparently he had to be the one to like clean up like the bloody crime scene of his son, and apparently him and his son were the same size, so he took the suits and the watches and anything Ryan said he was allowed to take. he took that and he kept it for himself so that way he could have some of his sons. So as you can imagine, Ryan had an impact on a lot of people, especially his family. So then his family decides we're going to have a scholarship in memory of Ryan. So instead of giving us flowers and sympathy, which we do enjoy the sympathy, but instead of flowers, because you know flowers is expensive, just donate money to the scholarship so we could help future people. So give them a future that Ryan never had. And so apparently this scholarship goes to a 6th grader at the middle school that Ryan had actually attended. And so then a close friend of his, which I didn't see the name for this close friend, he would later go on to actually name his son Carter in memory of Ryan. So I guess they were that close of friends. So then, of course, at the trial, they have cellmates of Shayna come in and testify. And one said that Shayna was planning on pleading insanity in order to get a lighter defense. Because, you know, if you are actually if they actually give you insanity, you do tend to get a lighter sentence. At least, if not jail, you can go to at least a mental hospital. Or at least a mental institution, as they refer to it as. There was another inmate that was saying that, like, oh, she was like, yeah, I would plead insanity, but I'm too intelligent. And she said that she had the IQ of Albert Einstein, so, like, that obviously wouldn't work. And then there was another one saying that she was aware of the date between Ryan and Audrey, which would make sense as to why she came over that night, and that pretty much was her breaking point, that she was going to kill Ryan. So, basically, if I can't have you, nobody can. So, then, of course, defense, because, you know, defense is going to try to do anything they can to get their client off, or at least with a life sentence. They tried to say that due to, like, a mix of drugs that Ryan apparently had in his toxicology report, it was possible that he flew into range. Now, whether or not this man actually had drugs in his system at the time he died, I don't know. And, of course, this is our victim, so I'm not trying to, like, blame the victim in any means whatsoever. So, yeah, I don't know. And so, something that kind of hurted Shayna's defense was that despite him being the one that was attacking her, and her technically being in danger, he'd actually went up to his room and, like, hid, like, got away from her. And apparently her Google searches came back and said how to unlock a door with a bobby pin. So at one point, apparently he had tried to get away from her, and her crazy ass, I guess, successfully unlocked the damn door with the bobby pin. And that's how we got Ryan to be where he was. So, of course, Shayna originally gets sentenced to 40 years. 3 months later, she's back in jail saying, wait, I was a victim of domestic abuse by Ryan. And, of course, the judge is saying, well, you were never married to him and you never lived with him, so that rule don't apply here in Kentucky, apparently. And apparently that's also the reason why Ryan never got a restraining order for her. Because, of course, this man went to law school. He obviously wouldn't know how to do that. But apparently that's also the reason why he couldn't get a restraining order against Shayna under Kentucky law. So then Shayna eventually meets Unique Taylor, who is a transgender woman. So, born man, but identifies as a woman. Apparently, they had met while Shayna was going to a recreational facility that was next to Unique's cell. Apparently, they started talking and had a lot in common. And then they married sometime in, like, June of 2018. But, of course, Unique would get released for whatever crime that she committed. And, of course, after that, they divorced. And so, August of 2018, as a shock, Shayna was actually given a new trial. And apparently, this was because one of the jury members was a felon, but didn't, like, disclose he was a felon, like, during jury duty. And apparently in Kentucky, also, you can't be a felon and be on jury duty, so she was granted a new trial because of that. Just because of that. And so she would come out and say that she was violated by friends, classmates, and even her father when she was younger. Of course, these claims have never been proven, so we don't even know if she was ever even violated. She apparently has told Ryan at one point, because again, that's her partner, and he seemed to, like, not care. And of course, her new sentence, she would be sentenced to life with possibility of parole after 20 years. And so in 2021, apparently there was, I think, a show called Cellmate Secrets, or something similar to what I just said. Basically, there were former cellmates of Shayna, I guess, who've already served their time, have been released and all that. They go on TV and they talk about the things that Shayna was doing to get attention. And apparently there were times where she would wear, like, a white shirt with no bra, so you could see her nipples, like, through the shirt, essentially. And panties, because apparently there were points where there were male prisoners visiting this prison that she was at. And then, of course, there's other times where she pretty much was just running out butt-ass naked in front of the guards. Again, I would like to assume these are mostly male guards. And then, of course, that she's doing this for attention, because, like, why else would she be doing some shit like this? So then, it's actually said that she actually has a pretty good-sized support group, and is getting hundreds of dollars still donated to her to this day. With several Facebook groups and a bunch of other stuff saying, like, release Shayna, she's nothing wrong, etc., etc. And so, yeah, with that being said, that is the case of Shayna Hubers, also known as pretty much Jodi Arias 2.0. Definitely know what you think down below. If you knew anybody involved in this case, especially Ryan, may he rest in peace. definitely let me know. And so that's it for day 6 to 12 Days of Murder, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
So if I play dead, will you regret everything that you did, that you said? I don't think you understand what you're doing, and my heart's black and blue from the bruising. I feel like when I'm with you I'm losing. I feel like you think that this amusing, sitting there gas